Evening, welcome to Star Talk. I'm Ken Eccles, and we're happy to have you with us on the program tonight. We'd love to hear from you. We got a phone number up there. You see it. There it is. You can call that. You can also email us at keneckleslive@gmail.com. So, whether by phone or by email, we hope you'll take part in the program tonight. I have a couple of emails over here to read, and we will read them in the fullness of time. We will get to those. But right now, let's a quick word about our NASCAR contest standings right after this. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Well, good evening, Mr. Ken.
Whoa, you're loud. You got a powerful phone tonight.
Yep, I had it upgraded.
Oh, all right. So that's the, well, you already had a satellite phone. What's the upgrade from that?
Yeah, I got boring, so I went back to the cell phone.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. Well, you have a good, strong volume, so everybody will be able to hear you and hear your words and drink in your wisdom.
Yeah, let's hope they got common sense too. Let's get down to business.
Okay. All right.
Where did I finish?
Well, I'll tell you where you are. You are number 5. You moved up a spot or two. You're now number 5.
Well, I'm happy for that. I'm glad I'm in the top 10, but I was hoping for a watermelon bust.
Well, that, of course, didn't happen. No watermelon bust this time. There's still opportunities in the future. Let me see here as I look into the great book. I see that you are number 5. You're 21 points out of the lead. 21 points is your deficit.
Where are they racing at next, sir?
You always ask me that, and I never know. It's on the schedule. Look at your schedule.
Okay, let me get into my television.
All right, he's going to check his schedule.
Oh, let me get up here. Yeah, I've got it's the Cookout Southern 500 next.
Oh, Darlington. Now, how did I not remember that? Darlington is the next race.
It will be Sunday at 6 p.m.
Right.
On your local USA network.
Okay. Back to Darlington for this weekend, and that's where they're racing. So, what do you think of that? How does that affect your pick?
Well, let me see. I'm going to go with a dark horse this time.
A dark horse. And who is that?
Well, I'm going to try to pick a car that has not won yet for the championship yet.
Okay. What car would that be?
I'm going with the legendary number 43.
Oh, Eric Jones. Charles takes the 43 for Darlington. That car has not won in a while, but it is legendary.
The number is legendary from the first time it hit the track.
Yep. Had a pretty good run. Looked like he had a chance to win Saturday night. Didn't work out, but he had a strong showing.
Well, he had a good, strong show. He had a good, strong car that night, but the number 12 was a little bit stronger.
A little bit stronger. You know, there's one thing missing from the 43 that it used to have that it doesn't have anymore. That's Richard Petty.
Well, I miss the old STP logo on the car permanently.
Yeah, that one's been around the track a few times, the old STP logo.
Well, I would hope they would bring it back, but he had it on the hood. I think he had something else on the side of the car.
Yeah, I don't think STP is actually sponsoring the team anymore. That was up there for old times' sake. So it's
Yeah.
probably not going to be up there again unless some money changes hands.
Oh yeah. But I'm going to. What track are they going to after that?
Oh, after Darlington, I don't I don't have a schedule in front of me. I don't know.
I think it's the ENGOY Illinois 300.
That would be Chicagoland Speedway or Gentech, not Gentech. They call it something different now, but it's what we used to call Chicago.
Oh, so it's a road course.
Well, no, the downtown Chicago is the road course. This one is an oval.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to pick mine for that race too. I'm going to pick that car for next race.
Oh, so we may have got two picks in one. All right, who's your pick for week after?
I am going with the legendary number 21, the Wood Brothers.
The Wood Brothers, number 21. Okay, so you got the 43 for Darlington, and then you got the 21 for Illinois.
Yes, sir. And to the rest of the callers who are making the pick, my cars are going to leave you in the dust.
All right.
So
well, what about the first Dover race next season? You want to make a pick for that one yet?
No, I'll probably wait till next season.
Oh, we'll wait on that one. All right.
Well, when they get to the Final Four in the championship, I will give you the winner.
We understand it. We're looking forward to that. We'd love to hear that.
Yes, and the rest of the callers, I'll be eating crow. And I mean, don't go get that artificial crow. Go get real crow.
Well, if you're going to eat crow, eat the real thing. I hate to, I know everybody hates this. You go in a restaurant and you order crow wings, and they bring you that artificial crow stuff. Nobody likes that.
Yes, sir. Well, have a good night. Talk to you tomorrow, sir.
Well, thanks for calling. Okay, Charles has issued two picks, the 43 for this week and the 21 for the following week. So he's getting ahead of the game. We have a new leader. Last 3 weeks, 3 different leaders. Mr. NASCAR, for the first time in his storied career. Mr. NASCAR is now leading our contest, but only by a little bit. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Mr. Ken, this is Jerry. The reason I called tonight is, like I told you about my tread climber. Well, it's the same thing as a treadmill, all except the tread climber got, the track is split and it goes up and down as you walk on it.
Right. And it's good for you.
Okay, pardon me?
I said it's good for you. Good exercise.
Yes, sir. And thank you for taking my call, sir.
Well, thank you, Jerry. Jerry wanted to make sure that we understand the difference between the treadmill and the tread climber. And we thank you for that, Jerry. And a good idea. You had a good idea to get a tread climber in there to use it, because that is a very, very nice workout. And we hope you enjoy it and benefit from it. As I say, Mr. NASCAR has ascended to the leader spot with 200 points, but close behind, real close behind Citizen D with 198 2-point difference. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Hey, Ken, it's Mark from Marion.
Hey, Mark. How are you?
Okay, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you.
That's good. Anyway, go ahead and put me down for Joe Logano, 22.
Okay, Mark has taken the 22 for Darlington, and it's in the book, the 22.
Yeah. Anyway, did you see on the internet where Kiss is going to do an unmasked show November 14th and 16th?
An IMAX show? No, I didn't see that.
It's going to be an unmasked show. It's going to be without makeup and stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry. an unmasked show. I misunderstood what you said. I said IMAX. Well, skip that. So they're going to appear without their masks.
Yeah, we have to make up November 14th through 16th in Las Vegas. And then Trump, he's going to do the Kennedy Center thing December 7th, where they're going to honor Kiss on there.
So they'll be unmasked in Las Vegas, and then they're going to the Kennedy Center.
Yeah, December 7th. That's where Trump's going to honor Kiss and Sylvester Stallone and George Strait and some others or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, it's going to be an exciting few months for Kiss.
Oh, yeah. All right. Thanks, Ken.
Well, thanks for calling, Mark. By the way, Mark forgot to ask. I'm sure he's wondering. Mark is now in 10th place, number 10 in our standings. Mr. NASCAR is number 1 with 200 points. Citizen D is number 2 with 198 points. Chat, that pesky artificial intelligence, Chat GPT, has moved up to 3rd place with 190 points. Mr. Draper had a tough day with the 48. Mr. Draper now in 4th place with 189 points. So that's just 11 points among the top 4 spots. 200 in 1st place down to 199 in 4th place. So that's mighty tight. Let's see, who's number 5? Charles is number 5 with 179. Mr. Leaksville is number 6 with 178. Number 7 is Mr. Pelham. Mr. Pelham moved up 5 positions this week. That can happen when you pick the winner of the race and nobody else does, which is what Mr. Pelham did with Ryan Blaney. So Mr. Pelham is up to 7th place now with 177 points. Where's number 8? Captain Midnight is 8th with 172. Pretty Man is 9th with 170. The Liberal is in 10th place, rounding out the top 10 with 165. And then we have, no, that's not right. Mark is number 10. Liberal is 11th with 165. Leon is number 12 with 160. Lady in Black, 13th with 159. Number 14 is Jack with 144. And Early Bird had a good week. Didn't quite get out of the basement. Early Bird still in 15th place with 140 points, but now he's only 4 points out of 14th place. So there they are. Somebody wanted to know, when does this stage end? And you may have heard 3 or 4 different things about when this stage ends, as we kind of went back and forth. But here's the official. This is official. This stage ends with the Roval at Charlotte. So that leaves 6. I'd have to look at the schedule and count. And of course, I never have a schedule in front of me. I think that leaves 6 races in this segment from now until the Roval, which is the end of this stage. So there they are. And let's have an email about something else over here. Email said, Ken, I heard people are getting letters from the state that says if they had a debt to a hospital, then the debt is now wiped out and they no longer owe the debt. Is this some sort of scam? What should people do if they get that letter? Well, who knows what scammers are doing, but there is a legitimate letter that you can get in North Carolina that says your medical debt has been forgiven. I haven't seen the letters. I don't know if they come from the state or if they come from the hospital to which you owed the money. I don't know. But what it's all about is the governor, not the current governor, the other governor, Roy Cooper, and the State Department of Health and Human Services, which I don't think exactly what they call that department, but you know what I mean. They worked out a deal with hospitals back when Cooper was still in office, whereby the state agreed to increase certain Medicaid payments to hospitals, which is something hospitals had been looking for, in return for the hospitals forgiving a large amount of debt, a large amount of money that North Carolinians owed to hospitals. So that's the deal they made. If you happen to be one of the North Carolinians included in that deal, and I'm sorry, I do not have in front of me the exact criteria to determine who's included and whose isn't. But if you get that letter that says, "Dear customer, your debt to such and such hospital has been absolved, you don't owe this anymore," then it's because of that deal that Cooper and the hospitals made on Medicaid payments. Now, I can understand why you would get a letter like that and immediately suspect a scam. It's pretty much every time I get a letter from anybody about anything, I suspect a scam. And that's understandable. But no, there is actually, it is really and truly a program underway by which a certain amount of medical debt is being forgiven. Now, if you have any doubts or questions about that, if you get that letter, just call up the state of North Carolina or call up the hospital. I expect that letter that you get will have phone numbers for the state and also a phone number for the hospital. You call them up and you say, "Hey, I got this letter. Is this on the up and up?" And I expect in most cases, let's hope in every case, but certainly in most cases, you will find out that, yep, that is legitimate. And that is debt that you no longer have to pay or worry about. So, emailer, that's the answer to that question. And that'll be good news, depending on how much you owe. I guess it doesn't matter. However much you owe, it's good news that you don't owe it anymore. I think we can all agree with that. Hey, Ken, I saw on the list of predictions that Leon picked the 60 to win at Daytona. That was almost turned into a really smart move by Leon. Picked somebody that nobody else picked, and it looked for a while like he was going to win the race. Too bad he got botched up there at the end. But even though he didn't win, that was still a smart and astute strategy by Leon to make that pick. Too bad it didn't work out. Yeah, Leon did pick the 60, Ryan Preece, for Daytona. And yeah, it almost worked. It looked like Preece had a chance to win, a really good chance to win. In fact, it looked like he was going to win until right there late in the race when the line behind him, the line that he was leading, pretty much dissolved, and they all pulled out and formed a different line and left the 60 to fend for himself. But boy, Leon almost made that work. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
How you doing, Mike Ken?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. What about that Blaney man with 3 laps to go was running 13th and won that race? What do you think about that?
Was it 3 laps or was it 2?
I thought it was 3, but it could have been 2.
Yeah, I think you're right. It was 3. Well, whether it was 2 or 3, you make up 13 spots in 3 laps and win. That's not bad. Of course, anything can happen at Daytona.
That's a fact, man. Anybody can win Daytona or Darlington. I mean, Talladega.
Talladega. Yeah, and they had talked about Blaney a lot earlier in the race. He had led some early laps, but it seemed for about the last hour and a half, nobody had even mentioned his name. It was like maybe
Right.
he had gone home, maybe. But then
Right.
all of a sudden, all of a sudden, there he was.
Yeah, I was afraid he was going to do me like what did last week, and come in the late pit stop and lose a wheel coming back out. I mean, Bubba had a good chance to win that race week before last. So just that old pit stop messed it up.
Yeah, well, that happens, especially when you lose a wheel. Almost nobody wins after they lose a wheel.
That's true. That's true. I was reading, I think it was yesterday or the day before weekend, that North Carolina's not going to do any more Saturday driver's license visits. Are you aware of that?
No, I didn't even know you could do it on a Saturday.
Oh, yeah. I think they were doing it a half day Saturday. I think it was 7-11 or 8 to 12, something like that on Saturday. But I think they did away with that on the 23rd, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, well, they of course passed that 2-year extension, but we all know about the risks and complications of that. They also hired 40, count them, 40 license examiners to go out and disperse among the 100 county offices in the state. So that ought to make a very small difference.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they'll probably end the valet parking that they had too, you think?
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, they'll probably end the valet parking and the dinner order service that you could get in line before. That'll probably go away too. But I really hope they have plans to hire more than 40 license examiners, because 40, that's hardly going to make a dent.
I know what you mean, Ken. Let me ask you this. Do you ever see a Flathead, the man doesn't use in the suit? You see him any lately, Ken?
I'm sorry to say I have not seen him since his last day on the air. Have not seen him at all.
Okay. I hadn't heard anybody speak of him in a while or anything. I enjoyed y'all's Monday Night Live show when I could see it, but there at the end, I didn't see a live one forever, but I really enjoyed that show, Ken. I know some people said, "Why do you do that?" But I did. I think y'all's humor together was just one of a kind,
Well, the last one was live. If you saw the last one, it was live. There had been some reruns before then, and I thought, I sort of thought that we were going to still do that after a while. But considering it's been 14 months now and I haven't heard anything about it, it may be that I was mistaken about that. So I don't know. I would love to continue doing it if we could, but nobody has said anything about it lately.
Yeah. Well, maybe you and him can get together on the Christmas parade this year, and maybe that'll work out.
I don't think he's going to do any more parades. I doubt we'll ever see him on a parade again. He retired from parades a couple of years, even before he retired from the station. He retired from parades.
Yeah. I heard that since Mariah Carey didn't show up that very often, that he just give up on it. But
well, yeah.
Probably
the last 3 or 4 years, every time he and Mariah Carey have gotten together, he has had to go there, and she has not come here, and I think he kind of got tired of that.
Yeah. Well, it's rumored that her and Charles from Danville's going to be in the parade this coming year on his moped, so I'm sure that'll be interesting too.
Yeah, that would be Charles on the moped with Mariah Carey on the buddy seat. I'm sure everybody would come out to see that.
I'm sure Charles would be helmetless if she did,
No doubt about it.
Yeah. All right, and have a good night, man. Appreciate you taking my call.
Thanks for calling. We don't want to start any rumors. there is, we don't have any expectation at all that Mariah Carey will be attending any of our parades this coming Christmas season. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Ken Briscoe from Huntsville.
Hey, Briscoe.
Let me ask you a stupid question.
Okay.
In NASCAR racing, of course, I know Bill Elliott and Chase Elliott,
Right.
but another name popped in my mind today. Somebody called Stick Elliott. Have you ever heard of that name?
Stick Elliott. Stick Elliott. Briscoe, I don't know that name. Somebody if somebody knows Stick Elliott, they'll let me know, but I don't know the name.
I don't know whether he was in NASCAR or not, but Stick Elliott popped in my mind today, and I was just wondering why I remember that name.
Well, you've stumped me, Briscoe. I don't know. I don't remember ever hearing that name before.
Well, I appreciate you taking my call, and it was a dumb question, but I thought you might have an answer.
Was not a dumb question, Briscoe, and thanks for calling.
Thank you very much.
Don't ever think that your question will be dumb. There are no dumb questions, only dumb answers. Where did I hear that? Well, that's a dumb question, isn't it? Let's see what we can learn about Stick Elliott here. Stick Elliott. All right, I found him online. We'll tell you about Stick Elliott in a second. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
What's going on, kid?
Well, we're just kind of sitting around. How about you?
I forgot about you being on. I just turned it on.
Well, everybody forgets about me being on. That's all right.
I was in watching that Inside Edition on one of them programs on Channel 12. But anyway, where am I at right now?
Well, Early Bird, you're still in last place, but you're a lot closer to 14th than you used to be. You're only 4 points out of 14th now, so you moved up. You moved closer.
That's something. I'm getting closer a little bit by a little bit.
That's right. You know, it's better to be 4 points out of 14th than 14 points out of 14th.
Ain't that the truth? Where are they racing at this week?
Darlington, South Carolina.
Darlington, South Carolina. That's a small track in Illinois.
Yeah, it's what, a mile and a quarter, maybe? Is that what Darlington is?
Like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take that. I think I'm gonna take. Let's see. I'm gonna take Chase Elliott.
Chase Elliott, number 9. Early Bird has the 9 for Darlington. It is in the book.
Well, I'm going to tell you something else. I keep forgetting to write it down. Mr. Draper say write it down, that way you won't forget. But y'all talking about something the other night, and I forgot to tell you about it. But anyway, I'll try to move and call you next time, and then somebody else call in. I'm watching until you go off. I'll see you later.
Well, thanks, Early Bird. Appreciate your call. Number 9 is Early Bird's pick for Darlington. Now let's get back to Stick Elliott. Stick Elliott, Dave, Gene. All right. Well, I'm going to start over. I do read English, although sometimes people doubt it. Gene Stick Elliott Davies was an American professional stock car racing driver. He was a driver in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series from 1962 to 1971. So that's Stick Elliott. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, Ken. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you. Just want to let you know I'm going to take you number 11 this week.
All right. Leon has the 11. for Darlington. That 11 has won a few times at Darlington. That might be a good pick.
Well, I hope so. I can't pick no other things.
I'll tell you what, 60 almost came through for you at Daytona. Looked good right up to the end.
Well, I fell asleep after the first segment, so it really didn't matter anyway after they wrecked all them cars.
Oh, that was ugly. But 60 was right in the running until the last few laps. But then the people who were behind him abandoned him and left him all on his own. So he finished 15th, I think.
Yeah, I think I did see 14th, 15th, somewhere in there yesterday on the Sports Center.
Yeah, I think that's where he ended up. But he was 1 and 2 there for a long time, right up close to the end.
Well, I missed all that because, like I say, I went and took me a nap.
Well, I hope you had a good nap, Leon.
Yeah, good nap all night long.
Okay. All right. Well, you got the 11 for Darlington.
All right. Thank you, Ken.
Thanks for calling. Leon has Denny Hamlin for Darlington. So let's see what's in here so far. Charles has the 43. Mark has the 22. Leon has the 11. And Early Bird has the 9 for Darlington. So that's what we got to this point. Phone line is open. There's the phone number up there that you can call. You can also email us at keneckleslive@gmail.com. And let's see, we have a couple of emails over here. All I have to do is find them. How hard can that be? Yes, we need Monday Night Live back bad, says this emailer. Citizen D, to be specific. We need Monday Night Live back bad, at least once a month. And we need the entry music back as well. Put Citizen D down for the 5 next week, as I will ascend back to the top. Okay, Citizen D, now 2 points. 2 points off the lead has Kyle Larson for Darlington. So that one is in the book. Captain Midnight, if you missed this, Captain Midnight, not Captain Midnight, Mr. NASCAR is on top this week with 200 points. Citizen D has 198. Chat has 190 and Mr. Draper 189. So this is close. This is pretty close as we go here, folks. Just had another email come in. Hello, Ken. I also vote to bring back Monday Night Live, even though it sometimes was the dumbest thing. Even though it sometimes was the dumbest thing that I have ever seen, there was a time or two, a time or two, where it actually was entertaining. And the way I see things, says the emailer, if you get a TV show that's good once or twice a year, that still puts it ahead. That still puts it ahead of the pack, because there is some awful, we won't use that particular word, some awful stuff, we'll say, on TV now. And as bad as it was, whoa, these are harsh compliments. As bad as it was, Monday Night Live was at least better than most of that other stuff. So if you will put Monday Night Live back on the air, I will watch it. Okay? If I could put it back on the air, I would. I really would. But it's not entirely up to me. But gosh, after such a strong statement of support, after a member of the public actually steps up and says something as uplifting as, once or twice a year, the show was pretty good. After an endorsement like that, certainly somebody, the powers that be, whoever they are and wherever they are, certainly would have to take that into account when wondering whether it might be worthwhile or not to try to put Monday Night Live back on the air. So we'll see. Hello, Ken. This is Jack. And Jack says, give me the 24 this week at Darlington. So let's go to the great book and write the 24. The 24 down for Jack. So that's Citizen D the 5, Charles the 43, Jack the 24, Mark the 22, Leon the 11, and Early Bird the 9. That's what we got in the book thus far for Darlington. And we may have another one right here. We do. Hi, Ken. This is your new leader and future champion, Mr. NASCAR. Mr. NASCAR, certainly full of himself now that he's number one. Your new leader and your future champion, Mr. NASCAR, calling, actually emailing. And Mr. NASCAR is also choosing the number 11 for Darlington. All right. Mr. NASCAR takes the 11 for Darlington. So there's that. There's the phone number on the screen, and there's the email address, which is keneckleslive@gmail.com. And you can give us a call or send us an email, whichever might work best for you. We'd love to hear from you on this edition of Monday Night Live. What did I just say? This is not Monday Night Live. This edition of Star Talk. Why don't we put it that way? Emailer says, Ken, what are they going to do about that Mountain Valley pipeline? I know that they had a big meeting out at the city council to try to stop the pipeline. So are they going to be able to stop it or not? Well, as of right now, the Mountain Valley pipeline is coming. It's coming. Will they be able to stop it? I don't know. They were not able to stop it in Virginia. Of course, it took a long, long time and a great many hearings and things. And eventually, the Mountain Valley pipeline prevailed in Virginia. And again, as of the moment, it is scheduled to come through Rockingham County. I don't know. I don't know what plans and strategies are in place to stop it. So I really can't answer the question. Are they going to be able to stop it? I don't know. It's going to be very, very difficult to stop it. I wouldn't say it will be impossible. But I guess if there are enough people who want to stop it, and they work hard enough to try to stop it, it's certainly, it's a possibility. But I don't really know how to answer that question as I sit here. Hi, Ken. Mr. Leaksville here. For this weekend, give me the number 5. I've got to get serious. 6th place is not where I need to be. Have a great weekend. Well, thank you, Mr. Leaksville. And Mr. Leaksville, as he mentioned, currently in 6th place. And Mr. Leaksville takes the 5 for Darlington. So there's one more in the great book. This one says, Eccles, don't think I did not note or notice. Don't think I did not note or notice the escutcheon. What? What is he talking about? This is from Pretty Man, but don't think I did not note or notice the escutcheon that you made. When you mentioned my presence in the top 10 at the 9th place in the NASCAR contest standings, you have been against me from the very beginning of this contest. I don't deny that. You have been against me from the very beginning of this contest, and yet I continue to flabbergate you, flabbergate you at every turn in your efforts to undermine my efforts. This is Pretty Man. I think everybody realizes that. This is Pretty Man. And I am marching, ever marching toward the top of the list in the NASCAR contest. Did you know, Eccles, did you know that if my name got revealed, pens tangled up here, did you know that if my name got revealed to the public, that there would be such an uproar that you would not know? Did you know that if my name got revealed to the public, there would be such an uproar that you would not know? I don't know if I knew that or not. But here is my selection. No, wait. On other thought, I will not announce my selection tonight for the race at Darlington, but I will announce my selection either tomorrow night or the night after that, which would be Wednesday, I believe. So for all the fans of Pretty Man, and there are millions, he says, for all the fans of Pretty Man, and there are millions, do not despair. I have the correct knowledge for the race to Darlington, the race to Darlington. It's not a race to Darlington, it's a race at Darlington, but never mind. I have the correct knowledge for the race to Darlington and will reveal that in the next 48 hours. Well, that was a waste of time. Thank you, Pretty Man, for that a very entertaining and meaningful presentation. Let's see who else we have over here. Hello, Ken. Could you repeat what you said earlier about medical debt and the people that might not owe it anymore? I just got half of that and didn't quite understand it. What that is, emailer, is during the Cooper administration, Cooper and the State Department of Health and Human Services made a deal with a number of hospitals in the state. I'm not sure exactly how many, a lot of them, whereby they agreed that the state would increase certain payments to hospitals through Medicaid if the hospitals would forgive a certain amount of medical debt that people have. So that's what that is all about. I honestly have never seen the entire rules and regulations of the program. There's a limited amount I can say about it. I'll try to look that up tonight and find out exactly what all the circumstances and requirements are. But what it's about is many of those hospitals agreed to forgive a large amount of medical debt that people owe them in exchange for some increased payments from Medicaid by the state. So that's the origin of that. I'll find out more. I will learn more about that between tonight and tomorrow night, so that if anybody else has questions about that, I will be in a little better position to answer those questions. But that is what I know about it right now. Hi, Ken. We used to go to Asheville every September before what happened last September. We're trying to decide whether to go to Asheville again this September. Do you know what the situation is in Asheville right now as far as damage from Hurricane Helene? Do you know what is open and what is closed and what is right now available in Asheville? I think you mentioned once that you enjoyed going to Asheville a lot. How much do you know about the current situation? Um, well, I know someone who was in Asheville a couple of weeks ago. I've not been to Asheville myself since Helene, but I know somebody who went around the end of July, actually last few days of July and the first few days of August. And they said most things are open. They said most of the restaurants that they like are open. The hotels are open. And they said, actually, as far as they could tell, there's not a whole lot of difference in downtown Asheville. Now, they were talking about downtown. They said there's not a whole lot of difference in downtown Asheville between now and what they have been used to in Asheville. As far as some of the other parts of town, in particular, they mentioned down along the river where there were a whole lot of art galleries, quite a few restaurants and things down there on the French Broad River. They said that's very different right now. So many of those buildings were damaged and in some cases just destroyed by the flood. So that part of town is not back to normal yet. It apparently is on the way. They told me there are some things that are open again in the River District, but it is not nearly as many things as they have seen down there in the past. So the verdict from that would be that if you're going to go and spend most of your time downtown, eating and doing all the things you do downtown, apparently they're in pretty good shape. But the parts closest to the river are not in that good a shape yet. As far as the Blue Ridge Parkway, and of course the Blue Ridge Parkway is a big part of that, a lot of the Blue Ridge Parkway has been reopened. It has not all been reopened yet, and I don't exactly know what parts of the parkway are still closed and what parts are passable again. But the parkway is certainly a lot better off now than it was a year ago. I do know that. So that's what I know about Asheville right now. Again, I have not been myself, but that's what I hear from somebody who did go. And I'm sure that if you call up your hotel or wherever it is you like to stay, and ask them what the situation is. I'm sure they can tell you. Also, you want to make a call to the Asheville Chamber of Commerce, they'd be able to tell you. Now, even as I say that, I realize that both those places, your hotel and the Chamber of Commerce, are going to try to tell you things to encourage you to show up. But I think they'd be honest. I mean, I don't think they would want to deceive you and tell you, hey, everything's great, and then have you show up and find everything not great, because that wouldn't do them any good in the long run. So yeah, I would just call up your hotel and call up the Chamber of Commerce, and they can, I'm sure, give you a good idea of what's going on in Asheville right now. It's a shame what happened, but they'll bounce back. They will bounce back. I'm sure they will. Phone line is open. We have just what do we have? Just a couple of minutes left, actually, for your phone calls and your emails. So you can give us a call at that number, or you can email us at keneccleslive@gmail.com. Here's one about mail-in voting. Ken, the president is going to sign an executive order to end mail-in voting. Does the president have the authority to do that with an executive order? No, the president cannot do that, cannot end mail-in voting states with an executive order, he can certainly express his conviction about mail-in voting in the states. And I have no doubt that there are states and governors of states that will take the president's conviction on mail-in voting, the president's opinions on that, very, very seriously. And that probably is what the president is hoping to do, is to convince the governors and state governments that are friendly to him to see that his way and end mail-in voting. But as far as the voting itself, the federal government has no role to play in elections. That is entirely up to the states. The federal government only has a role to play in elections if a state is doing something that clearly violates the Constitution. And that's how we got things like the Voting Rights Act. But short of that, the president and the federal government is not involved in managing elections. That is a state duty and a state authority. So at the state level is really the only place that can happen. They wrote that in the Constitution. Let's see, we got one more over here. Ken, I cast another vote for Monday Night Live. Do you think that you could get Monday Night Live back on the air? I always looked forward to it on Monday nights, except when you did it on Tuesday nights. Did we do it on Tuesday nights? I don't remember doing it on Tuesday. Anyway, be that as it may, I always looked forward to it on Monday nights, except when you did it on Tuesday nights. And I always enjoyed the special Halloween and Christmas shows that you did on Monday Night Live, especially the time you did that Christmas movie that was entirely in Spanish. That was one of the best ever. So you can write me down. Don't give me my name on the air. I'd rather not have my name on the air, but I include my name here so that you know that I am a legitimate person. I would love to see Monday Night Live back on the air. Get it back on the air if you can. If I can, I will. I don't know that I can. I don't know that I can get Monday Night Live back on the air. If I could, I would. But I don't know that if it is within my powers to do that. But if somebody whose powers it is within wanted to do Monday Night Live, I would certainly be willing to do it. And there's that. And that's all the time we have for Star Talk tonight. We're on the air Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. I hope you'll join us next time. Thanks for watching. I'm Ken Echols.